Get an agenda email. I didn't get it.
Actually, I got two. And then this morning she said she's gonna redo it again, so
We're here.
We're here. Here.
Hold on. Echo.
Go.
I think I'm funny. Okay.
He's invisible.
Mike.
This is the best side, so there you go.
No sound in fiscal
No sound.
court. Can't call you.
Now can you hear me?
Now,
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
We can.
We don't like
All right,
you, so don't talk about it.
First of all, before I start, I wanted to just tell you all I'm quarantining and for good reason, and wanted to make sure that you all knew why I was not in court this morning. And I want to encourage you, I know all of you all.
Recording in progress.
Good grief. I don't know what all this stuff is on here. Hold on just a second.
It got it.
Click got it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I don't know if the video is delayed or not, but it appears to be on this side. I just wanted to tell you all that I am quarantining, and I want to encourage everyone who has not been vaccinated to be vaccinated. My doctor told me that had I not been vaccinated, my symptoms would be far worse than they are today, and I feel very fortunate that we were able to be vaccinated before now. Have no earthly idea where I acquired this, but well, actually I do. I acquired it from my wife, and she's well now, and she believes that she may have acquired it at a visitation at a funeral home, but she's not real sure. Anyway, her symptoms were fairly light due to the fact that she had been vaccinated earlier as well. And I feel very bad for those people who are in the hospital right now and can't get through this virus as easily as I am so far. Anyway, we'll go ahead and begin the meeting now. If we'll call the meeting of the Warren Fiscal Court Monday, August 30th, 2021 to order, and ask Esquire Ron Cummings to lead us in prayer, and immediately afterwards I'd like to ask everyone to please stand and as he leads us in the pledge.
Thank you, Judge. Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you today, Lord, asking you for guidance, Lord, asking you for your healing hand on our country, and Lord, just to give us the wisdom and guidance we need to conduct the business of Warren County today as we meet here. Lord, just want to thank you for the blessings you pour out upon us. We live in such a great place. May we continue to not take that for granted, Lord, but to do the things we need to do to ensure that Warren County, Kentucky is one of the best places in the world to live. Lord, I'll come to you now with a couple of specific prayer requests, Lord. Put your healing hand on Tammy Farrell, Lord, as she recovers from her surgery. And also for Brooke Humble, who's in the hospital fighting this COVID, Lord. Just want to say to you, Lord, that we thank you for all you do, that all good gifts of life come from you, and we thank you for what you do in our lives. Lord, as we continue this meeting, may you give us the guidance and the discernment we need to do the things that are best for citizens of Warren County. Lord, I ask you all these things in your precious name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
You'll face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
Which it stands, one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. Ms. Hale, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Here.
Esquire Young.
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Here.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
All right, we need to approve the minutes of the fiscal court meeting of August 13th, 2021.
Motion
Have
by
a
Cummings. Motion Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second McWhorter.
second by Squire McWhorter. Any questions, discussion, additions, or corrections? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe Mr. Comer is there in the courtroom. Chris?
Yes, sir, Judge.
Okay, if there are no objections, I'm going to go ahead and move item number 29 up. And so before we take action on that, I believe you have some comments that you'd like to make and some introductions.
Yes, sir, Judge. I really appreciate the time, and at this time, I'd like to invite Jim Clark with WKU Tennis and Athletics up here with me, and we'll try to socially distance out. Also, Kathy Beard and her family. We would like to have Kathy and her family come up as well. And then our partner in our tennis creation in our project, Martina Fee, representing Southern Kentucky Tennis Association, and she has been a tremendous, I don't even know the word for Martina, in regards to helping us with this project. Absolutely amazing, I think is the word. So Martina, if you'll come up with us too. I'd like to start off with the Beard family, Kathy Beard, I believe her sister Sandy, and then her sister-in-law, very good, and then and then Miss Beard. We would really like to thank them for being a gold sponsor for the new tennis facility, multi-purpose play facility at Michael Buchanan Park. Kathy has been extremely patient with me over the past several months as we've been navigating various projects at the park, and we are just so glad and so thankful that they're supporting this project as a gold sponsor. So on behalf of the Warren County Parks and Recreation Department, we want to give a huge thanks to Kathy Beard and family for their continued support and gold sponsorship of one of our 6 indoor courts at the new multi-purpose tennis facility. So Kathy and family, thank you so much. Also, I'm going to let Kathy come up here in just a minute and say some comments, but I'd also at this time like to thank Jim Clark. Jim Clark, again, I want to thank him, WKU Athletics, with their patience in working with us. We're going to have our first joint use agreement for the facility with WKU Tennis, and they are actually going to be sponsoring one of our outdoor courts. They'll be using this new facility for collegiate tennis. We are extremely excited about that. We've already got, in working with Martina, we've already got some games and matches on the books for collegiate tennis through WKU Athletics at the facility. They're going to have a permanent home now indoors to practice and play, and it's been a pleasure working with Jim. We really look forward to continuing that partnership with this agreement over the next 10 years for both of these, Kathy's sponsorship and Jim and WKU Athletics joint use agreement. So again, on behalf of Warren County Parks, Jim, thank you so much for your dedication and commitment. And again, I just want to thank Nate Harlan, who was not able to be with us today, and Martina Fee. There's not words to thank these 2 individuals for their continuous efforts. It's almost every single day they are pushing forward this project and are doing amazing things, and there's absolutely no way we as a Parks Department could have done this without their support and daily, weekly help. So we greatly appreciate Martina. So at this time, Kathy, if you want to come up and say any words, that would be great. And then Jim, if you'll follow, that would be awesome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kathy.
Morning. We are very, very proud to be able to sponsor the tennis facility, the multi-purpose facility. And it isn't really a Kathy Beard thing. It's a Beard family. I did spearhead it for the family, but certainly my mother-in-law and Doug's brothers and sisters have been a huge part of this, as well as myself. And Moni Beard, who is no longer with us, but he was a huge tennis player and certainly loved Bowling Green and everything it stands for. He was the person who probably encouraged me the most. I'll tell you just a little funny story. I haven't always been a tennis player. I'm a learned athlete, not a natural athlete like most of the Beard family. But when I started playing, after the first time Moni saw me, he said to someone else, he said, if she can play, anyone can play. So with that, I hope that the tennis facility does grow and that we're able to fill it up with new tennis players and young tennis players. And we are forever grateful to Martina, who has led this. And I don't know that it would have come to be without her. And we are very grateful to her. So to all who had anything to do with it, thank you. And we're really proud and excited to be part of it. Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to thank Chris and Martina as well. I came when this was first, I guess, presented to the fiscal court, and WKU was excited about the opportunity. We have outdoor courts on campus, or part of campus, I guess, South Campus, but this opportunity to partner and use these facilities, and I think we've already got numerous matches and some practice time, again, when we need to be inside. So this is a great opportunity. First-class facility. I've toured it, I guess, twice now with Chris, and hope to get one more before it opens soon. But thanks again for presenting us with this opportunity.
All right, Judge, again, thank you, Fiscal Court, for your continued support. We do have three additional sponsors that we're going to hopefully be bringing to the next court meeting. So we appreciate the support, and we'll keep you updated on the progress. As of right now, the facility is scheduled to open Monday, November 1st. So we encourage everybody to get your rackets ready, get your tennis balls ready, and we're going to have some fun at the facility on that Monday, November 1st.
I'm so excited about that, Chris, and I can't believe they made that date actually work, but it is really exciting, and I'm happy. I'm happy to welcome the Beard family. As always, they have been great supporters of our community for as long as I can remember, my entire life, and they are always active in the community in regard to athletics, and particularly youth athletics. But they're big tennis players, and I know that they appreciate what we're having done out there. I also want to tell you how much I appreciate Western Kentucky University, and I'm really happy that they're going to be using this facility for some of the WKU tournaments and playing out there as often as possible. Anyway, thanks, Jim. Thanks, Kathy, Betty Jo, Sandy, everybody. I appreciate you all, and we look forward to seeing you at the ribbon cutting on November 1st.
I'd like to make a motion on item 29 to approve.
All right, to approve the following sponsorships for the new tennis multi-purpose facility. And do I have a second?
Second, McWhorter. Second. This is
Motion by Squire Cummings and second by Squire McWhorter. Any other comments? All right, there being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks, Kathy.
Thank y'all.
Okay. Go back to item number 5 this time, to approve the work schedule for the Warren County Road Department.
So move, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second.
second by
You can't see.
Lawrence.
Squire Lawrence. Okay, I think I can see you now. All right, any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
We need to approve the personnel changes, Warren County.
So moved, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young,
Second by Cummings.
second by Squire Cummings. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 7 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2144, rezoning property located at a portion of 0 McClellan Road from agriculture to single-family residential containing approximately 33.2853 acres and presently owned by Mary Louise Smith Family Limited Partnership.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings. Second.
Second, Squire Young.
Second, Squire Young. Further discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes,
Esquire
ma'am.
Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 8 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2145, rezoning property located at 2688 Cumberland Trace Road from agriculture to office professional commercial containing approximately 12.74 plus or minus acres and presently owned by, I believe that it's intended to be the Lehman Avenue Church of Christ.
So moved, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second by
Second.
Cummings.
second by Cummings. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 9 is to approve the second and final reading of ordinance 2146, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Drake's Ridge Phase 3.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This item number 10 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2147, rezoning property at 0 Plum Springs Road and 2675 Plum Springs Road portion of containing approximately 57.2224 plus or minus acres from agriculture to residential, single-family residential, and presently owned by Norman and Velma Ersman. Now, if you all recall, there was an appeal filed that you all got notice of, and I understand from the public hearing that this appeal was settled, and I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Milliken to explain the details of that and how this amendment, being non-substantive, can be included. It's to be included in the because all we're doing is approving or disapproving zoning, so it doesn't matter what they've amended there.
That's correct.
So, or they've agreed to. But I'm going to let you explain that, Ms. Milliken. I apologize for stumbling all over the place.
So you're correct, there is no change to what we approve. We approve only the zoning, and any of the details are handled at the planning commission level. It was announced on the record prior to this meeting at the appeal hearing that they had reached an agreement, and the agreement was put on the record. Both parties were here, they both agreed, and they'll be signing the document and sending us a copy of the signed agreement. But they did provide us with an unsigned copy.
Amy,
They can't hear you. Even on this?
they can't hear you.
Did everyone understand?
Yes.
I
We
can
heard
hear
you.
you.
We heard you okay.
Yeah.
What?
She was worried her mic wasn't working. I told her we heard her okay.
Oh,
It's not working.
Is there a button?
Yeah, I pushed it toward me. Is that right? Okay, whoops. Okay, let me start
I
again.
can hear you a little bit. So I
I
think everyone picked up on that.
I'm gonna,
So everyone understands?
They
There's
do.
no turn.
They do. You announced it correctly, Judge. The only thing you're approving is the zoning. This body doesn't get into the minute details of how that zoning came about. So there are essentially no changes to what you're doing.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept
Motion by Squire
McWhorter.
McWhorter, second by
Squire Lawrence.
Squire Lawrence. All righty. You have any further discussion or questions in regard to that? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the next item is to approve a determination in the amount of $2,700 to the Agency for Substance Abuse for Keep a Clear Mind curriculum for distribution in area schools for the ASAP grant.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings to approve.
Second, Gorman.
Second by Squire Gorman. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 12 is just make part of the record the report of the audit of the Warren County Clerk for the year ended December 31st, 2020. I'll need a motion for this to be approved because it has to do with the financial audit.
So
Motion
moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second.
Second by Cummings.
Second by Squire Cummings. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 13 is to approve determination in the amount of $2,137 to Miracle Recreation.
So moved, Squire Young.
All right, motion by Squire Young,
Second by Squire Payne.
second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? This is for replacement of playground article at Ed Spears Park in this state price contract. Okay, no further discussion. Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes,
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 14 is to approve the annual renewal of Alert Sense mass notification system in the amount of $19,995 for emergency management and Warren County Parks Department. This is the program that notifies the public in regard to emergencies and park scheduling and so forth, all the leagues and so.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 15 is to approve agreement between the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department for Rural and Municipal Aid, and Warren County Government, and approve resolutions 21 and 26, accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being part of the county road system. This is flex funds that we will receive this year for $263,112. Motion to approve.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. No further discussion, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, item number 16 is to approve the determination of the amount of $98,700 to Scotty's Contracting and Stone, Inc. for the culvert replacement on Pondville Road. $78,960 was paid by KYTC emergency funds and $19,740 by Warren County. This is approved to be done at the May 7th, 2021 meeting. This is just a breakdown, how we're paying for it.
So move, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second, Young.
second Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 17 is to grant authority for Public Works to apply for the 2022 State Litter and Open Dump Cleanup Grants and grant authority for Judge Executive to sign all related documents.
Motion by Squire Payne.
Second by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Payne, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 18 is to approve the termination in the amount of $11,326.26 to Wright Equipment for a 61-inch John Deere Z950 mower for the I-65 beautification project. This is a Sourcewell contract.
So move, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 19 is to grant Judge Executive authority to sign a grant agreement for the apron rehabilitation and tie-down construction project for Bowling Green, Warren County Regional Airport, and this is at no cost to Warren County.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second.
Second by Squire Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions on this? I know that you all recognize that ordinarily we split 5% of this. Usually it's 90% by the state, 90% by the federal, 5% by the state, and then 5% split by the city and county. This time, they pay for all of it, and the city and county don't have to come up with any funds for this. So, we have a motion and a second. Have any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire
Yes,
McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 20 is to approve contract amendment to Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation in the amount of $2,062.50 to expand the 375 kilowatts for the tennis facility at Buchanan Park.
Motion by Squire Payne.
Motion by Squire Payne,
Second by Cummings.
second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 21 is to approve the termination in the amount of $7,500 to the Agency for Substance Abuse for survey processing for city and county schools. This is paid for by the ASAP grant.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cumming.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 22 is to approve the termination in the amount of $19,200 to Trailer World for the purchase of 2022 Better Built 25-foot equipment trailer for the Warren County Road Department. The original price was $21,200. The Trailer World giving us $2,000 for a trade-in.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Second,
Motion,
Gorman.
Mr. Furlong, second by Gorman.
Yep.
Okay. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cumming.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 23 is to approve order 2115 declaring surplus property for the Warren County Attorney's Office.
Motion, Gorman.
Second by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Gorman, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cumming.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 24 is to approve the maintenance agreement for the AS400 payroll budgeting and accounting programs at a cost of $9,949.55. This is a one-year agreement.
So made McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second by Squire Payne.
second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cumming.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 25. Approve the Warren County Sheriff's Office to apply for the Department of Justice Small, Rural, and Tribal Body-worn Camera Grant Program to purchase 45 body-worn cameras. If approved, anything above the $90,000, that's the maximum grant award, the county would be required to make up the difference and grant the executive authority to sign all related documents. The total cost is $695,000, but I don't think is the sheriff there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay. Do you want to give them the breakdown, or they have the documentation of how that's broken down over the years?
Yes, sir. And so basically on this, there's a breakdown where it's not all needed up front. So it'd be $170,000 up front, and then they're equally divided over years 1 through 6 for 7 years. So this is a 7-year agreement for the body worn. And we looked at multiple other camera systems. We got some other quotes from Motorola and from Axon and this one as well. And so we looked and compared to everything. This was the one that had the features that we felt were the absolute best, and it's the only one that is NAACP endorsed as well on this due to all the safety features that automatically come on and don't require somebody to touch a button or push a button. And so this is what we had come up with. So done a lot of background and research into this and looking at it. And it's one of those things that I think the community now with, Bowling Green has them, Western has them, and a lot of the community is wanting us to have them. And so nobody likes to spend that kind of money, but at the same time, I think that for the community and us, I think it's the best option.
Motion by Squire Lawrence. Second McWhorter.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire McWhorter. Are there any other questions on this?
Judge,
As I understand, basically what you're telling the sheriff is that this is the only one that met the specifications that you all sought, right?
Yes, sir. It really is. It's a single source provider, a lot of multiple technological reasons, and so yes, sir.
Judge, I have one question as usual. I just want to make sure, talk with Greg Burrell, are we financially good on this and paying for this? You know, even, you know, if we get the grant, don't get the grant, is how financially are we good to take on this project, which I think is very needed?
Yes, Esquire Cummings, I met with the sheriff and we went through the financials of it. So I feel good that the county can pay for body cams.
Great, thanks.
Okay, we have a motion by Squire Lawrence, a second by Squire McWhorter. Any other discussion or questions, comments? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Item number 26, to approve refund authorization statement from the one. Pardon me? Approve refund authorization statement from the Warren County Sheriff's Office, granting them authority to issue refunds up to $1,000 out of their district's collection.
So moved McWhorter.
Motion with Squire McWhorter,
Second, Gorman.
second with Squire Gorman. Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, item number 27 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2148, rezoning located at 1550 Highland Church Road and 1624 Highland Church Road, Apartment A, from agriculture to residential estate containing approximately 3.39 plus or minus acres and presently owned by Marie Mosley. Let me just ask you this question. This is a stupid question, I'm sure, but they have an apartment A that's in this rezoning and other apartments are not?
Correct.
Just want to make sure.
Yes, sir. This is just, they have an accessory apartment in a garage and they would like to keep that. So this is subdividing the property off to build another home, and then they will keep the existing home and accessory apartment.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I clearly understood this and everyone else did.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion for Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young,
Second by Cummings.
second by Squire Cummings. Any further discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 28 is to approve budget transfers for Warren County.
Motion by Squire Payne.
Motion by Squire Payne,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
And we've already taken action on 29. Again, we want to thank the Beard family and Western Kentucky University and Jim Clark for their sponsorships, and the other sponsorships I think will be approved. Do you want to approve those now, or you want to approve those when they're here? Chris?
If it's the next court meeting, Judge, we'll hopefully have 3 additional sponsors at the next court meeting.
Okay, all right. So we approved WKU and Beard family sponsorships, and we deeply appreciate their participation and their support of the community always. Item number 30 is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $5,786.64 to Stuart Ritchie Service Group for replacement of the side of a walk-in freezer door for the Warren County Regional Jail.
Motion by Cummings, second McWhorter.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 31 is to accept the best bid from Cleveland Environmental in the amount of $124,200 for a portable toilet, hand washing, hand sanitizing units, cooking oil, and grease collection. This is a 24-month contract, and there's one additional bidder. It's Blue Moon Porta Potty. But this bid, the lowest and best bid was Cleveland Environmental.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, item number 32 is to grant authority for the Parks Department to approve the only bid from UniFirst Green Guard in the amount of $32,046.46 for the AED oxygen units.
So moved, Gorman.
Okay, who was that? Sorry.
Gorman.
Gorman.
Motion by Squire Gorman. Second.
Second by Cummings.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 33 is a resolution of Warren County. You know what that resolution number is, Ms. Hale?
2127.
2127.
Resolution 2127. Resolution of Warren County approving premium pay for essential county workers pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act. Now, when I say this pursuant to American Rescue Plan Act, let me just say there's a lot to this American Rescue Plan Act, and even though we've all wanted to do this for the last month or two, it's very difficult getting all of the, it has been difficult. I don't know if it's been overwhelming at times to try to get answers from the Treasury, from the federal government, and from CAECO and NACO. But we recited some of these points from the act itself, or from NACO's summary. But basically, getting down to section 3, it's what we're actually approving here, down toward the bottom. This resolution actually approves us to pay COVID to reward our employees for the additional work that they put forward during the COVID pandemic. Since early last year, and we want to recognize that they've all worked hard and that everyone has put forth strong effort to keep the public well informed, but also to keep the public safe and to keep our employees safe. So we are, this is important to note here. Since they passed this law, it gives us the ability to reward them for service in arrears. In other words, back to the beginning of the emergency. And it gives us the ability to give them some future reward in regard to working through the pandemic. The pandemic is not going to end by the end of next year. It's certainly, hopefully, is going to get a lot better. It's at a peak now, but I think that our hospitals are as full now, or more full than they were at the peak last winter. But
motion to approve.
No, wait a second.
I'm sorry.
I want to make sure everyone understands what we're approving. I think all of the magistrates do, but I want to make sure that you understand that what is allowed by the federal government and what is not. If you get down to section 3, it says the county is determined as recognition of and as an incentive to provide exemplary work during this pandemic, all regular, full, and part-time county employees who were employed by the county on March 1st, 2020, and who remain employed by the county on August 31st, 2021, are hereby eligible to receive ARPA-funded premium arrears pay of up to $2,500 if they are full-time employees, while part-time employees will be entitled to prorated based on the average number of hours that have been worked weekly, compared to a 40-hour work week. Now, furthermore, all regular, full, and part-time county employees who are employed by the county on September 1st, 2021, a couple of days from now, and who are employed by the county on who are still employed by the county on December 31st, 2022, are hereby eligible to receive an additional ARPA-funded premium pay of up to $2,500 if they are full-time employees, while part-time employees will be entitled to a prorate based on average hours worked. Now, this is what's important to note. County is determined that elected county officials are exempted from premium pay, and by definition of the way that it's figured from the federal government, most, if not all, I think all of our department heads will be exempted from the premium pay. So I wanted to make sure that you all know this. This is the Treasury, or the overall bill was passed trying to prioritize premium pay to low and moderate income persons, and it was certainly not passed to enrich or reward elected officials, because that's what, as elected officials, we're supposed to be taking care of the public and taking care of our employees. So now, does everyone understand this clearly? I mean, basically, I just went over all the fine points that are, there is a premium pay for up to date, up through tomorrow, that can be paid by the county through these ARPA funds. This is through the federal funding. And it'd be paid to all employees who are working here March 1st in 2020 and remain working here August 31st. And then there's also a reward and incentive to continue the exemplary service through next year, which we anticipate the emergency to last through December 31st of 2022. There will be an additional $2,500 premium pay from the federal ARPA funds. And we'll move forward on this if someone wants to make a motion now.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Do we have any further questions or discussion? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, and we're glad to get that done, and I know that a lot of the department heads, knowing that they weren't going to be included in this, they wanted to make sure that their employees are. And I know I've talked to the jailer a number of times, and some of the other department heads, and we feel, as the department heads do, that we put all the department heads and all the employees through an extraordinary amount of emotional stress and hard work, and it's been difficult scheduling with sometimes third of your workforce off sick or quarantining. At first, we were quarantining for 14 days at a time, and it's created extraordinary challenges to be able to continue to serve the public. And there are many people, like the people in my office, like the people in the clerk's office, and the sheriff's office, and so forth, who haven't had the opportunity to take off or to rest. And I think we've got another year of continuing to be vigilant, and we want to make sure that everyone knows how much we appreciate it. All right. Ms. Hale, are we on over 34 now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Did we approve 33?
Pardon me?
Did we approve item 33?
We need to call the roll.
Huh?
Call the roll on that, please. No, I
Yes.
think we did. Didn't we already call the roll on that?
We did.
Okay.
33?
Did we do 33?
But we do have an item on our agenda here that says 33 approved.
And he's going to do that now.
Okay, sorry.
Item number 34 now is to approve the lowest and best quote for the 5-foot aluminum security fence in the rear of the Skypack building around the area with the HVAC refrigeration freezer tanks. We've had a number of people breaching that area, actually on top of these very expensive tanks, and it's very dangerous, and we need the security fence. We have a motion to approve.
Motion
This
by,
was the lowest and best bid by far.
motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Next, we need to approve the claims.
General fund, $949,036. Road Fund, $105,393. Jail Fund, $135,411. And Stormwater Fund, $22,938. If you have to answer any questions.
Make a motion, we play the claims as submitted, Squire Young.
Second
Motion by
McWhorter.
Squire, motion by Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes,
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 36 is, we need to go into closed session if we could. If you all could retreat to my office under 61.810 to discuss the possible purchase of real property. If I get a motion to go into closed session,
Motion by Cummings.
motion by Squire Cummings, second.
McWhorter.
Second by Squire McWhorter. Before we vote on this and go into closed session, I want to report that I do not anticipate coming back out of closed session. Well, not anticipate. We won't come out of closed session and take a vote on anything. So there'll be no further action when we come back out of closed session. Only thing we'll do is close the meeting.
And of
So-
course, no vote will be taken in the closed session.
Right, I apologize, I should have thought that. Need to make sure everyone understands that no votes will be taken and no decisions will be made during closed session.
And we'll go into the
But-
closed session pursuant to 61-815 subsection 1A.
Okay,
And then, Mike, I will call you when we get in there on your telephone. Would that be okay?
that's fine,
Okay.
it's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, please call the roll.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. All approved.
We're now in closed session.